All right, last week we were making a Valentine's box and we were designing the outside of the box. You got a template. If you were in class, you got a template on a piece of cardstock. We had to get these requirements in, and then we did a pencil drawing of those designs. Now, if you've gotten some time, you can color them in, all right? That would be nice. And then today we're going to show you how to make the box. Okay, so if you're at home, you'll have a paper version. It'll be a little flimsier, but it will still work out okay. So what I did was I went in with my scissors and I cut around the outer edge of everything, all right? So do not cut things off. We're just going to go around the outer edge. If you've got this printed out version, there might be a little piece missing here. I just went off the edge with my lines here, and I left all of that part of the tab. So when I was all done, I have something like this, all right? Now, this one should be all colored, so if you cut it out and you still got your black and white pencil drawing, make sure you get your colors in. It's a lot easier to color it in now than it will be when it's all folded together. I'm going to show you today how to start making the box. So with a cardstock piece, what I want to do is I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to open them up carefully, and I'm kind of holding the blade. I don't got my fingers in between the blade, all right? I'm kind of just holding the edge of the blade like so. And honestly, I'm not pushing very hard at all, but I'm going to use that ruler to give me a straight edge. And I'm just going to lightly use a technique called score. And I've just scored a line going down the middle. I don't want to keep doing it because it will give me different lines. And I don't want to push very hard or it could rip the paper and it could fall off. So anywhere there's a black line, I am going to score lightly along the edges. So I kind of did this one here. I think I'm just going to keep with this theme as far as going up and down. And I'm just going to keep sliding over. It's nice if you can get that edge of the scissors to go towards you. All right, with my light line. And I've got one more right here. You'll notice I've got something underneath just in case. Maybe a notebook back or a folder. But when I come off, I don't want to make lines on my table surface. So I've done all the lines going this way. I'm going to rotate it because I have two lines, yes, that are going in this direction. Again, kind of holding the scissors. Got my straight edge. I got my scissors against the straight edge. And I'm just going to keep that line continuous all the way. All right. This one's a little different because I have a tab here that's going to have a line, and then I'm going to go over here and do this line. So scoring along the edge gives you a nice little groove, and it will help folding a whole lot easier. What I want to do now is I want to spend some time taking that edge, and that's a nice straight line right there, where I made the score mark, and I'm just going to fold those. I don't want to be too aggressive with them because I don't want them to rip if I push too hard. But everything that I've scored along, I want to go around and give it a little bit of a fold, and then I kind of fold it back out open so that it doesn't get in the way of the other one. If you do multiple score lines, it's going to have different cracks all over. You can kind of see that white line where I've just cut it. Keeping it straight, that will help the dimensions of our box. And sometimes the score line is so nice, it just already makes that fold for you as you're working your way around. So I'm just going through anywhere I folded or anywhere I done a little mark with my scissors, a little score line, and I'm just kind of making sure I fold on the crease. You'll know if you didn't or if you missed a spot because it won't fold very easy, all right? And when you look on the back, you can see all the different little fold lines. So if there was something that doesn't look like it has a crease in it, you probably missed it and have to go back in and fold it, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to glue things to the bottom one, all right? Remember we had that one that we talked about. We had our flap that doesn't have any tabs to it, and this one down over here. So we've got our four middle ones, and then our bottom tab. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start gluing things to this one and working my way around, all right? And all I'm going to do is put a little glue. You don't need very much, and if you get too much, try to wipe off the excess. So I'm gluing this one on the right, and I'm just going to bend this around. so that the corners or the edges match up. And from the inside, all right, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push on that tab a little bit to smooth out the glue from the inside. Now this gets harder the more it gets put together, so you really want to make sure that these areas are sealed in pretty good. All right. And you could tape these edges. I could put a piece of tape along in here if I wanted to, or use stick glue. But really, I got a little open spot right here. But really, glue seals it in pretty good, and it doesn't take a whole lot. With tape, I can't move my edges around, so I'm just going to kind of make sure that they're lined up pretty good. And it doesn't take too long, 30 seconds or so, before it's really starting to bond. All right. So I'm going to keep working my way around and gluing them, and I think what I'm going to do is glue this next edge. And actually I can do two of them. All right. So I think what I'm going to do, since this is my bottom, I'm going to glue this piece right here. And I'm going to wrap it around and line it up and push it together on the inside. Well, it's pretty wet. It's going to move around a little bit. You got to be careful not to get too much glue on your design because it will smear the marker. You can see mine is starting to slide out a little bit right here. So I got to make sure that that is nice and steady. The least amount of glue possible is probably going to be the way to go. And then I'm just going to take my time. Looks like I got a little glue up there. So when you get glue on your table, try to dry it up real quick, otherwise it's going to stick to your design. I'm telling you, marker will start to blur like crazy. So I'm working on two sides here. Going to do a little bit of rubbing on the inside. If the inside gets a little gunky, not that big a deal. You can kind of see it's a little messy right there. That's okay. That's going to be all on the inside. All right. So there's my bottom piece. So I think what I'm going to do is wrap this final piece around like so. What I can do is I have a tab here that's going to have some glue, and I have a tab here. I can glue both of those at the same time. And I don't necessarily have to put the glue on the tab. I know that this one is going to sit right here. So as long as I don't put too much, and I can put this one on the tab like so. And then I'm going to bend this in. This is where it gets tough because I have to go inside of this piece and hold that down. So I will get a little creative here and get my pencil in there to hold some of that in. I can even use my pencil as a longer finger to try to get some of this to hold as well. Depending on your cuts and your folds, this will be how well it holds together. So this one's starting to slide. Yep, I got to make sure I get it all together. I'm going to kind of hold it in the corner. Looks like I could probably add a little bit more glue. We'll see how it goes. It's starting to bond pretty well. I know that the bottom is. I'm going to work on the side a little bit right here. If I did just the bottom instead of the side, it would still work. I'd be able to go in, get all that nice and firm, and then I can work on this side here. Looks like it needs a few more seconds to dry up. But really, I've got my box. I've got two more tabs in here that I am going to bring closed. Now, if you don't want to do the top, you want to leave it so that it opens, then what we can do is maybe get a little sticker that kind of holds them, and then people could peel it up like so. All right. If you're going to leave it just a cube, then you can glue these two edges and keep them secure. And this is just a nice little decorative box. that you could give somebody for Valentine's Day. All right. Like I said, you can leave this open, put little notes inside, maybe a couple little pieces of candy, and then we can get a little sticker maybe to go right over the top of it. Kind of get it to work with your design. Something that they can peel back, all right, and open up and close when they want to. All right, so that's what we're working on. I noticed I got a little bit of an edge here, so that's an easy fix as well. I don't want to rip any of it, but I can kind of trim that down. It's still sealed because it was just a little bit sticking out. If I need to go in with a marker or a pencil or a crayon or colored pencil, I can touch those edges up as well. All right. So there we go. We've got it all made. Just make sure it gets all colored before you start to put her together. And then it's up to you how you want to do it, whether give them an entire cube all sealed up or give them something that they can open and close whenever they would like to. All right? Enjoy. Next week we'll work on something new, and I will talk to you guys later.